So today we're diving into A.J. Cronin's Two Gentlemen of Verona. Now, when you hear Verona, you're probably thinking of Shakespeare, right? Well, this isn't a story of romance. Nope. This is a powerful, modern tale that completely redefines what it means to be noble, all through the incredible actions of two very young boys.
The whole story kicks off with this simple question that just blossoms into this really profound mystery. So, picture this. You're on the streets of Verona, a city that's still recovering from the war, and you see these two young brothers working with this almost desperate kind of energy. And you just have to ask yourself, why? What secret could they possibly be hiding?
All right, let's get into the first piece of this puzzle. It all starts with the narrator's first, really confusing encounter with these two boys, right on the edge of the city.
So as the narrator is driving into the city, his driver just kind of waves the boys off, telling him, you can get better fruit somewhere else. But the narrator, he doesn't listen. There's just something about them that makes him stop, a kind of quiet dignity that just pulls him in and makes him totally ignore that advice. And this is the contrast that the narrator just can't shake. I mean, on the surface, you see these two kids with tangled hair wearing old, worn-out clothes. But then you look closer at their faces and their whole vibe. It just screams seriousness and dignity way beyond their years. It's that contradiction that totally hooks him and makes him think, okay, I need to know more.
And that first impression, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The narrator's fascination just grows and grows as he starts to see just how unbelievably hard these two brothers work at so many different jobs.
He runs into them again the very next day, shining shoes. But that's just one tiny part of their relentless hustle. I mean, look at this list. They do everything, selling papers late at night, showing tourists around, running errands, you name it. They seem to be absolutely everywhere with this boundless energy.
And this quote, it just nails what makes them so different. This isn't just about earning some pocket money. You can tell there's a real, focused purpose behind everything they do, a seriousness that just feels so out of place for kids their age. And that maturity is exactly what keeps the narrator guessing. Okay, and this is where the mystery really gets deep. They're obviously earning good money with all this work, and yet the narrator notices that all they ever eat is the cheapest food around, just black bread and figs. So they aren't spending it on themselves. The big question is, where is all that money going? That burning question leads us to the big turning point in the story. The narrator is about to get a chance to peek behind the curtain, thanks to a journey to a little village nearby called Poletta.
So it's the narrator's last day, and he offers to help the boys out. The younger one, Giacomo, kind of shyly asks if they can get a ride to Poletta, which is 30 kilometers away. Turns out it's a trip they make every single week on their bikes. The narrator, totally intrigued, says of course and agrees to drive them.
And you've got to wonder, right? What on earth could be in the small village that makes them do this every single week? A 60-kilometer round trip, like clockwork. Well, the narrator is about to find out.
And that journey takes us right to the heart of the story, because inside a hospital in Poletta, the secret, the reason for everything, is finally revealed. So they pull up to this big villa, and the boys just dash inside, telling him they'll be back in an hour. But the narrator's curiosity gets the best of him. He follows them, and the second he steps inside, he gets it. This isn't a house, it's a hospital.
A nurse there explains their whole story, and it is just one of unimaginable hardship. Their father, a singer, was killed in the war. A bomb destroyed their home. As little kids, they fought in the resistance, carrying secret messages. And after somehow surviving all of that, they were reunited with their sister, Lucia, only to find out she was incredibly sick.
It turns out their sister, who was training to be a singer just like her dad, was suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. I mean, just a devastating diagnosis that required really expensive, long-term care if she was ever going to have a chance to get better.
And suddenly, it all makes perfect sense. For 12 straight months, a full year, every single week, without fail, these two boys have been working themselves to the bone to pay for their sister's treatment. All that hustle, all that sacrifice, it was all for her.
The nurse tells the narrator, with so much hope in her voice, that because of her brother's incredible dedication, Lucia is actually getting better. She really believes that one day she will walk and sing again. And that beautiful goal is what this has all been about.
As the narrator drives away from that hospital, all the pieces of the puzzle just click into place. He finally understands what true nobility looks like, and he knows he has just met Verona's true gentleman.
And this right here is the core message of the entire story. We tend to think of a gentleman as someone with money, or fancy clothes, or high social status. But Nicola and Jacopo just blow that idea out of the water. Their nobility had nothing to do with what they owned. It was in their character, their selfless love, and their incredible sacrifice.
Their story is just this amazing testament to the human spirit, you know? It shows us that real nobility is built on things like selflessness, on holding on to hope when everything seems lost, on that unconditional love for your family, and on finding dignity in any kind of honest work.
So the story of Nicola and Jacopo leaves us with this really powerful question. It challenges us to look past all the surface-level stuff, the wealth, the status, and to ask ourselves, what does true nobility, what does being a true gentleman really mean to you?